Josh and Jay back with the Rapid Reaction America is Blue podcast. I have to say this is officially the worst I've ever seen. It's the worst game I've ever played. For me, it's a bunch of firsts happened today. It's the first time I didn't celebrate a goal. When Connor scored, it was so ironic and anticlimactic. I don't even think I clapped. I was waiting for it to be called back. I was waiting for an offside or a handball or something else. And it's the first time I ever shut the game off. After the goal, I shut the game off for 10 minutes because I just couldn't take it anymore. And it's gotten to the point where it's affecting me. I hate admitting that, a sport and a team is like affecting my mood in my life, but it is. And, I'll get over it as soon as we're done with this, but what a shit show. Everything sucks. And there is no positives to take out of this. And I don't see any end in sight.
That about sums it up. I mean, I think we could wrap up with that.
I don't think this needs to be long.
No, because it's the same. We're saying the same shit. And anybody who's listening to this feels the exact same way. I'm sure we're all just exhausted. We're all just, we want this over with. So please, this season cannot go quick enough. Put us out of our misery because, man, it's just, you don't even know where to start. It's like this combination of effort and no continuity and lack of skill and just dumb fuckery by some of these guys. The lineup, as soon as I saw it today, I was like, Jesus Christ, please tell me we're not rolling out these guys. Please tell me we're not putting Raheem Sterling up there. Please tell me we don't have Conor Gallagher in there yet again. I don't care that he scored the goal. Obviously, it was bullshit anyway. It banged off of 3 body parts off Lewis Dunk before it just barely edged over Robert Sanchez. It's insane to me. We can look at a team like Liverpool they're having an off season. They're not in their best form. They were on a run of many years of being toward the top of the league and doing really great things. And their shitty season is still not that terrible. There's the game here and there where they come alive and they do something great and they drop 7 goals on somebody or have a good performance. My word, it's like, have we had, more than 3 or 4 games that we've come away from where we felt excited about what the boys have put out there the entire fucking season?
I don't even know any.
Because I don't think so.
I don't have
maybe
any
the second leg. Second leg against Dortmund was a good game. We played well that game. There was probably a couple earlier on in the season, but Jesus Christ, to have to sit back and have to endure what we've had to endure as fans and watch guys who are getting paid unbelievable amounts of money, so dejected and so just lame out there. Dude, I can't wait for this to be over. We need to hit a major reset button and figure out what the hell we are, because this is just fucking awful.
There was no crispness. A lot of the stuff I'm saying, I feel like, is everything a miscue? Is every pass, as slow as it's supposed to be? I'm like, guys, where's the crispness? Where's the pop, pop, pop? We had nothing. We got the shit kicked out of us by Brighton at home. They dominated everything. Matomo put Trevor in a bag and beat the shit out of him. It was unbelievable. We've never been dominated at that level. Real was like a cakewalk compared to that. It was the score should have been 72-0. It was terrible. It legitimately could have been 8-1. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a
Dude,
doubt.
they had 26 by the end of the game, 27 shots. Honest, we had 3 or 4. They had over 70% possession, I believe, for the entire game. The last stat that I saw while we were watching was over 70%. We couldn't get the ball. We couldn't maintain the ball. And on the off chance that we had an opportunity, Lewis Dunk gives that ball away. We have a chance in the box. At the end of the game, there were 3 or 4. Dude, there were 3 or 4 opportunities.
Reese's cross, the Reese
either,
cross right at the end. Where was anybody?
Nobody there on that. Connor had 2 at the end of the game where he was just standing in the box, had no idea what to do with it. Kovacic had, I think, 1 or 2 over the course of the game where the ball was just sitting there. Heavy touch, couldn't get to it. Dude, we're just Listen, when things start to go wrong, this is like Murphy's Law. It's like if it can go wrong, it will go wrong, and this is what's happening. Like nothing can go right, and even when we get a lucky goal, even when we get out on the front foot, it's just there's no spark to be able to get these guys to start feeling optimistic and start putting it out there. It's just we're just waiting to be beat.
And then the Chilwell free kick at the end of the game, we get a foul in a dangerous situation, and a lollipop dipsy do out to into the middle, met by no one, instead of just trying to wrap your foot around something and play a little ping pong and get a deflection or something. Nothing. Let's boot the ball 15 yards away from goal instead of towards it. And let's have the left-footed out swinger instead of getting Reece James over there and just blasting one and hoping for the best, which is all we could do. But instead, we take at least a half a chance and make it into no chance. I mean, this is not hyperbolic. That is the worst I have ever seen us. I mean, it was terrible. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't
terrible.
know. I think if we had to go back, if we were forced to be sadistic and rewatch every game of the season, I think our mindset toward the club at various stages of the season were different because there was actual optimism. Like, all right, maybe we need to give Graham Potter time. Thomas Tuchel, all right, well, the form's a little bit off, but he'll get it right. We just won the Champions League 18 months prior. The level of dejection across the board here between the fans, the players, this is an all-time low. But as far as performance is concerned, I didn't think we were going to win today.
Definitely not.
I didn't expect us to get beaten. No. We got beaten 4-1 by these guys and got worked at the beginning of the season. So I wasn't expecting us to come out here and have a good game or be able to exert our will against a much better team at the moment. It's just, dude, it's just salt in wounds. We just keep on dumping salt in wounds and making it worse and worse and worse. And I just cannot wait for this to be over. Put us all out of our fucking miseries. Just put me down. Take me out back. Take me out back and put me down. Get me in a hole.
Old Yeller. Just old Yeller me.
Get me in a hole.
It's just so perplexing. And there aren't any words anymore. We can't keep running through the same stuff. What are we going to do? Talk about tactics? Like, give me a break. And obviously, Frank's a lame duck coach. He can't go in there and say, F you, this is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. He's out. So, the guys can, disconnect halfway on some of the stuff that he's saying. Nothing is resonating. And, yeah, we're really heading into a high with bringing Real Madrid to the bridge. I think the over-under on Karim Benzema goals is going to be 7. I mean, he might bag 7 himself. I am really setting myself up for an absolute mockery of a performance again. Maybe N'Golo Kante can, give us a little bit of hope in the midfield. But, short of him, short of Enzo, we have just got no bright spots whatsoever. Everybody up front was putrid. I didn't mind, Mudryk on the ball so much. He did make a couple of positive things happen. Pooley was terrible. Raheem Sterling just continues to show himself as an absolute midget in the center of the pitch. He's not getting a header on anything. No explosiveness. The touches were terrible. The dribbling was terrible. None of the passing was crisp. I really do. I believe it's the worst performance I've ever seen. Not in terms of result per se, but I mean, it could have been 6-1. It could have been an all-time embarrassment because we got pantsed at home. And now I feel blessed. Thank God I didn't go out there for that piece of shit. That would have made me want to hang myself even more than the Villa. Yeah. So,
bro, bad and worse. It's just bad and worse. You did. Okay, so we can mention one bright spot. I did. Mudryk should be starting every single game 100%. The rest of the season, and it's not because he's shown something dynamic or he's playing so much better than everybody else, but at a bare minimum, because of his pace, he can at least be a threat to open up some things on the back lines. And he had some pretty decent runs today. He should be starting every single game for the rest of the season.
And get him on the score sheet. We got to get him on the score sheet. We've got to give him some feeling of positivity, especially headed into next year. And it's going to be a fire sale. We're going to get rid of a.
Thank God, bro. Thank fucking God, dude. Get rid of half of this fucking team. Get rid of half of these guys. Listen, all right. Hakeem Ziyech, is a really good player. I have not a bad thing to say about him. I feel like whatever he's contributed to this club and whatever's happened to him during his time here, I don't hold him accountable. But he doesn't want to be here anymore, and rightly so. So he's got to go just because, and for his sake too, because he doesn't deserve what's happening here anyway. I don't think there's room for Pulisic anymore. I want to see him in a better situation. Raheem Sterling, I would love to get rid of him. In a heartbeat, I need to get rid of
Connor.
him.
Got to sell Connor.
Connor, please take him. If you can keep Mason Mount, great. I would like to keep him. With the way Kovacic has been playing, fucking Christ, I don't even know what to do with him at this point in time. There's probably about like 7 or 8 guys that just need to go. Just need to get the fuck out of here. And let's start afresh. And let's give some of the younger guys the opportunity to be able to show why a $20 million spend on a Carney Chukwuemeka can eventually develop into a guy that's either sellable at a much higher fee so we can earn some capital back on that, or actually develop into a guy who's playing at $100 million status so that we actually have an amazing player, right? So give the young boys a chance. Man, there's a million fingers to point. I would love to just see young guys out there. I'm tired of these stale fucks who just go out there and run through the motions and don't accomplish anything. And there's no growth. There's no progression. Guys, ride the pine. Ride the pine.
It's the way it's got to be.
Because we're all done. Everybody's done. This should just be over with.
Yeah, and we're running out of gas, man. We're just running out of things to say, and because it's all negative. We can't progress or grow as podcasters and radio hosts unless we get some kind of result to talk about. But it is a real testament to us. Chin up, heads held high, feeling really good. Yeah, who was the guy who used to pat himself on the back like in the WWE? I forget who used to do that. But he was one of the heels. I forget his name, but that's what I feel like right now. Because now I at least have to laugh at myself. But, I mean, I do feel bad because I'm not the guy that yells at the screen so much and is like super negative when negative stuff happens, but I'm getting that way now. I'm sitting there like watching, and I was screaming at the television today. I hate it. It makes me feel like I'm what am I fucking 15 or something? But it's hard when you're emotionally attached to a club because at least I do. I give a shit, and it's terrible seeing a team that means so much to me put out results that are just completely a 180 from what we're used to seeing. And it's not the results, it's the performance. It's so frustrating and aggravating to, giddy up and try to get yourself mentally prepared to watch something that you love perform so poorly.
And, that's a good point and a nice one for us to wrap this one up with. The only people I think really deserve some credit for this entire season are the people who are the fans who have stood with this team and have stuck with this bullshit for the entire season. Or people who are creating content who want to come out here and try to be somewhat entertaining or share their insights and have to deal with that type of painful shit every single time we're out there and come out here and still feel the need and the desire to come out here and share our thoughts and talk about a club that we love. And we just have to hope for better days ahead because this has been as bad as hopefully it will ever be.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
So kudos to fans.
I had to sit on the therapy couch today and just change up the environment because I just couldn't even go down into the studio today. So I got a little something else in the background. Maybe I'll play some Beastie Boys and just try to relax. And get ready because the only thing positive we got going on is the New York Knickerbockers playing in the playoffs today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe we should just make a Knicks podcast now. So, anywho, America is still blue. We really appreciate all the follows, all the likes, everybody that subscribes to our social media channels and handles. We really do appreciate the support. We love you, our brothers and sisters in blue. Hopefully we can, salvage something positive from the season, put a couple of results together, head into 2023-24 with a chip on our shoulder and a need to achieve. We all know what happened last time we weren't in Europe. We just have to resign ourselves to the fact that we're not going to be in the competition next season. So let's just start building up that armor and building up that resolve. So until next time, Josh and Jay signing off. We will talk to you soon.